Books and Burbs says, I've just started a small business and I'm having an absolutely awful time organizing my workflow. My space gets so messy. You have advice on how to streamline production and organization? I'm not sure how much advice I have, but I have commiseration, and I'll tell you my story. I go back and forth in this shop between cleaning at the end of the day and cleaning at the beginning of the day. And there's lots of reasons I may not clean at the end of the day. It might be that I worked right up until it's time for me to go out to dinner or kind of go do something. That's very common. It also may be that I've messed something up and I want to go home and I don't really feel like cleaning at the end of the day. The trick is you got to clean on one of those. You got to clean on one of those. And I personally find showing up half an hour earlier than normal and putting on some nice tunes and just walking around, putting stuff away, walking around, a messy room gets cleaned one object at a time. And you can imagine that frequently I look around this cave and think, oh my God, there's so much crap everywhere. And everything on this table is in a different category. No two things on this work table are part of the same category. So every last object needs to be hand carried somewhere. There is a Buddhist frame of this is what's happening. And look, I also get why you might not want to clean at the beginning of the day. Maybe you've got kids and getting them out to school is everything that you've got right up until you go to work. And then you've got to start because you've got X amount of parts to finish today. That's totally real. And I've been there too. You still have to carve out time to build your mise. In cooking, your setup in front of you is called your mise en scène. And for short, they call it your mise. And I think about that a lot when I'm cooking. I'm always cleaning and moving and shucking and jiving. I'm always cleaning and moving stuff around when I'm cooking in my kitchen, my other shop. And I have, in the last 3 years, done a lot more of cleaning in the middle of the day, like transitioning between two builds. I will pause. And the thing that I want to say unto you is a basic cleanup doesn't have to take more than 20 minutes if you're just putting away tools and clearing a workbench. And it's hard to gin up the energy every single time. I agree with you. It's difficult to build up the energy to do that, but it's also like a muscle that you develop. It's a muscle you develop. And I really like that quiet time of moving stuff and not being attached to finishing quickly. I've spent so much of my life being attached to finishing quickly, wanting to execute this thing, wanting to operate as fast as you can. And I have also received much benefit in my adulthood from slowing down and not trying to finish everything as fast as possible. All right, let's see here. Thor Loki wants to know, did Jamie actually give you his beret after you shot it during the shooting the grenades in midair episode? If so, do you still have it? Or what did you do with it? Oh, yes, he did. Yes, I still have it. I believe it would be found in box 2C. When I wrapped up this room in December of 2024, the 14 Billy bookcases got numbered 1 through 14, and their shelves A through, or maybe it was A through L and 1 through 6. So it would be B3. Yeah, it's middle of the second shelf. None of that matters. Let's talk about Jamie's beret. Yeah, we were filming, can you shoot a grenade out of the air if someone's lobbing it at you? And the answer is 100%. Grenade's kill zone is very small. And if you can shoot it out of the air when it's still 15 feet away from you, you're gonna live, for the most part. You may have some shrapnel in you, but you're gonna live. And we got trained doing a bunch of skeet shooting, which is super, super, super fun. I love me some skeet shooting. And also the reason that you can totally shoot a grenade out of the air is because if someone's throwing something at you, shooting the thing that's flying at you is the easiest thing to do in skeet shooting because it's not chained, it's all just lining up for you and you just gotta get there and knock it out of the air. So Jamie says to me on set, "You wanna try shooting my beret? I'll give it to you if you can hit it. I'm gonna go behind this wall, I'm gonna toss it. I'm not gonna tell you when, and you gotta hit it." And reader, I hit it. And I didn't get it at the end of the day. And then I didn't, I'm not one to pester Jamie. So I let that sort of ride. And then a few weeks later, I was like, "Hey, you got to give me that beret." And he's like, "Did I? I don't remember saying I was going to give you that beret." And I was all like, okay, there's this one thing I learned about halfway through making the show about dealing with Jamie. Because we would fight constantly about the little things. And it was sort of it's sort of like a moral compass for us to argue with each other because we're gonna push on anything we feel on the other side that might need a little more thinking. And both of us would do this to each other. And so, I'd be sitting there with Jamie, I'd be saying something like, "Okay, so we're gonna build a fence around this, and I was thinking of making it look like a white picket fence." And Jamie would be like, "Well, I think it should look like a log cabin fence." And I'd be like, "Why?" And he's like, I like them." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I have this whole narrative reason I'd like to do." And I'm sitting there getting enraged that I'm arguing about this. And then there was this moment which I'm arguing with him about something that he wants to do. And I'm thinking to myself, what are the stakes here? Why am I involved in how Jamie wants to execute something? And this thought occurred to me. Do I need to be the solution to this problem right now? Or will the world solve this problem later? I can't tell you. This is my version of the Serenity Prayer. Grant me the grace to change the things I can, to know what I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. Do I have to solve this problem or will the world solve this problem for me? So Jamie has asserted some amazingly ridiculous things to me. And I have, since I came to that conclusion, been like, all right, yeah, go forth and tell somebody else that, and let's see what kind of reaction you get. And I have gotten to watch him get the world's response to things repeatedly. So I thought to myself when he was like, "I don't remember that I was going to give you the beret," I just thought to myself, all right, I'm just going to let that dangle out there. We'll see if the world solves this problem for me later. 4 or 5 years later, Jamie and I are on tour, and when we're touring with the science show, we were doing a bunch of gags, but there was always a Jamie Q&A section and an Adam Q&A section every evening because we just loved talking to the audience. And one evening, my Q&A was first, and someone asked me that question, and I told this story. And then Jamie came out during his Q&A section, and someone else asked him about it, and he's like, "I really don't remember telling him I was going to give him the beret." And the whole audience was like, "Dude, you totally said it." And the day after we got back from that tour, he gave me the beret. I still have it. It was a regular daily wearable beret for him for years before I shot it with buckshot. And then he gave it to me, which means it is like you could probably clone tens of thousands of Jamies out of this thing. It is filled with skin cells. The felt itself has a kind of unearthly, awful quality to it. It's almost flesh-like. I think I've only touched it 3 times. All right, let's see here. What do we got? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I wanted to briefly mention that you could become a tested member. I know, everybody is competing for you to become a member of their thing. What I want to express to you is that the Tested membership has become such an important part of the Tested family. We get tremendous feedback from the Tested members, and they expand the stories that we can tell and the things that we have access to. And you can become a part of it right now by clicking on the link below. See you in the chat.